Winter vegetables get a bad reputation. Cabbage and carrots are often boiled until soft, onions given a quick saute but still raw, and called dinner. And while that works, it is not doing them any favors when it comes to texture or flavor. So today, I want to show you how to take inexpensive winter vegetables that store well for months and turn them into a flavorful, filling skillet meal using one simple technique: long, hot cooking. Cabbage, carrots, and onions are some of the best vegetables to keep on hand in winter. They are affordable, they last, and they are available even when fresh produce options are limited. Cooking seasonally does not mean going without, and it does not mean relying on produce that has traveled thousands of miles. These vegetables hold on to something special that only comes out with time and heat, and that is natural sweetness. To get started, I want everything cut to roughly similar sizes so it cooks evenly. I am slicing half a head of cabbage into ribbons, 1 onion into slices, and 2 carrots into thin half diagonals. I keep carrots and onions on hand because they store well and are usually inexpensive. The carrots are sliced thinner because they are denser, while the cabbage and onions can stay a little thicker. The goal here is control. I want crisp edges, not raw centers. In a large skillet, add about 2 tablespoons of oil over medium-high heat. I am using a chili oil to add a little heat, but any neutral oil works here. Use what you have. The cabbage goes into the pan first to give it a head start. If everything goes in at once, the vegetables will release their moisture together and steam instead of fry. What we want is evaporation. Driving off water is the key to crispness. Spread the cabbage into a relatively even layer and let it cook for a few minutes. Add a small pinch of salt to help draw out moisture. Once it starts to soften, add the onions and carrots. Right now, this looks like a lot of vegetables, but they will cook down significantly as they release water. Keep the heat high enough that you hear sizzling. If the pan is quiet and steamy, the heat is too low. Resist the urge to stir constantly. Letting the vegetables sit undisturbed gives them better contact with the pan, which is how browning and caramelization happen. Stir occasionally, but give them time. This dish really comes together when the cabbage and onions start picking up deep brown edges. The more color you get, the more flavor you build. Cabbage, like onions, becomes sweeter the longer it cooks and the more color it develops. Taking the time here also ensures the carrots cook through fully. Expect this step to take a while. This is not a fast sauté. Plan on at least 40 minutes. If at any point the pan looks dry, add a little more oil. This should not be greasy, but a small amount of fat helps with browning and flavor development. Once the vegetables have good color and crispy edges, it is time to add the beans. I am using 1 small can of pinto beans that has been rinsed. Wet food does not fry well, so I gently dry the beans first using a clean kitchen towel. This small step makes a noticeable difference. Clear a space in the center of the pan and add the beans. Let them sit undisturbed for a few minutes so they can pick up some color and lose excess moisture. If you really like crispy beans, you can give them more time or even crisp them separately. I prefer them softer so they melt into the vegetables, but both approaches work. After a few minutes, gently stir the beans into the vegetables. Now it is time to season. Add about half a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and 1 to 2 cloves of minced garlic. Stir everything together and let the garlic cook gently while the spices bloom in the heat. This is the moment to make the dish your own. Onion and garlic powder work well here. You could use celery instead of carrots. If you have white beans, black beans, or chickpeas, those all work. Cook with what you have and what you enjoy. Recipes are guidelines, not rules. If you want heat, add chili flakes. If you have garam masala, this is a great place to add it. It adds warmth and depth to the dish. I am adding about half a teaspoon for a subtle cinnamon note. Let everything cook for about 5 more minutes so the spices have time to fully bloom. This crispy cabbage and bean skillet is a 1-pan meal built from winter storage vegetables and a single can of beans. It is warm, filling, and deeply flavorful, not because of complicated ingredients, but because of technique. Storage vegetables can be interesting. It comes down to giving them enough heat and enough time. Serve this with toast or flatbread, or spoon it over rice to stretch it even further. This is simple food, cooked with intention, and that is what makes it satisfying.